All right, we should be live now. Hopefully everything's good, everybody can hear me, and this video goes great. So the plan today is to build out a full game, kind of like the title says. We're going to go from beginning to end, building out a simple but fun interactive game. I want to kind of keep this on a simple theme so that it can finish the whole thing in a day or in a stream. But I also want to make sure that it kind of applies to everybody out there. So my initial thought, and I'm just going to switch right over to desktop mode so people can see kind of a preview of what I've been thinking about and kind of planning out, and then we'll wipe it all out and start it off. But let's switch over to desktop mode real quick so everybody can see it. Just kind of get an idea of what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking that I'm going to use this Synty Knights pack. I already have it. It's a great pack and it looks cool. And that I want to do something with sending knights into castles. So the scenario that kind of brought this to mind, and bear with me if this doesn't sound like an interesting game, just listen through the whole thing first. So a couple days ago, I guess it must have been 2 days ago, my 4-year-old mentioned something about knights and just kept talking about knights, putting knights in castles. Actually, I guess not just 2 days ago. It's also yesterday and last night. All this stuff about just putting knights in castles. Very excited about putting knights in castles. At the same time, my wife was complaining that he's still struggling to remember his numbers and be able to recognize them, count out the number of things, and say the numbers. He can count the numbers out loud, but not actually visualize them and represent them with the actual digit. So what I was thinking was that I could put together something where you could kind of match up a number of knights with a door with a number there, and not something super boring where just like click and match, but something where I can go in like a storytelly, more narrative mode where we can drop in some voiceovers, some camera transitions where it kind of comes down and like, hey, commander, we need some number of knights in this room or whatever. Which team has the right number of knights to go to this room? And then it have some number of knights there. You can pick them and then send them off and maybe do some fun like ragdoll dragging them over or something to make it kind of interesting. And then I go through like just the process of showing the step by step stuff, the transitions and all that. I thought it would be an interesting thing that people could use in tutorials or just, any other kind of little mini game that they want to put together. So hopefully that's interesting for everybody. That's the plan. That's what we're going to build. Before we get going, I guess I'll grab my rock star and just say hello to everybody who's here live in chat. Make sure that you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and go share and all that, and just say hi in chat. All right, so let's get started. Actually, let's crack the rock star open first, then we'll get started. All right. So I've already kind of cheated here and set up some knights. I'm just going to take them all, delete them, delete this camera here, and just kind of restart my whole project. I'll go back to the whole project here, and I'm going to delete out this knight controller. I'm going to leave the knight pack here, and I'm going to get rid of this warrior pack that I downloaded to try out, and this folder of animations. So we'll just kind of reset everything back to the way it was initially with just me downloading the Polygon Knight scene. So I hit don't save. Oh, whoops, I must have already saved over that. I'll delete that. And then we'll just go back and pretend that I didn't do that. There we go, we'll save. And now I've got my scene view. So this is what the default Polygon Knight scene looks like. It's just like zoom out real quick. That was pretty cool. I thought this was just a neat one when I searched for knights. I was like, oh, I already have this one and it looks neat and the characters are going to be perfect. So it's just like this castle. It's got a little city over here already pre-built. Again, I was thinking I'll just use something like maybe this section with these two castles. I'm a terrible level designer. And then I just need to set up a camera. First though, let's look at the cameras that are in here. Because if you look in this scene right now, if I go to the game view, there are no cameras on. If I turn on the cameras, you can see a couple of the different shots. This is kind of the one that inspired me with that shot that I was just showing you a second ago. In fact, this is probably a better shot. Maybe I'll just use this one, the camera main castle, as my camera. I'm going to turn these other ones off, or that one off, and try these other ones real quick and just look. That's the church one. The siege. Looks kind of cool. I was using this actually I used that in the thumbnail. And then maybe that would be a good one for like the intro part. And then the town. I don't think I'm going to use the town. It feels a little too busy for what I want to do. So I'll just enable the castle one. And I think the first thing I want to do before we start adding any code or anything is just figure out like what the characters are going to be, where they're going to be, and what that flow is going to look like. I was already thinking I wanted to use the knights, so I think I'll just grab them, get them kind of out into the scene, get them animating and idling real quick, and then we'll go from there to set up some interaction so that we can actually play with them and make them maybe do animations as the first thing or something. So let's go into the prefabs folder, characters, and then, oh yeah, there's a bunch of different knights. The preview is terrible there. So let's just go select some and drag them out. I'll go to the scene view, remove that filter right there, and then just drag down here. I'm going to drag the game view over here kind of side by side so we can get a little bit of a preview of it. It's going to be kind of small. Normally I just put that on another screen or something so I can see it better, but see black, I don't think that's going to work. Blue is his favorite color. What's something that'll stand out very opposite from blue, like a yellow? Yellow or maybe an orange. Oh, let's go with orange. Let's go with blue and orange. I think those would be the two that I'll use as my first ones because they've got different helmet designs set up right now, and they're very, very different colors. In fact, let's go look at the characters though, because there's something interesting on these. If you actually look at them, oops, let's expand them out. The reason that they're different character designs is actually just that each one of these has 3 models, or 5 models. There you go, and you can just click through the different ones. So I think that there's a tool built into this. There might be an editor tool that they put together, but you can just look here and see the different meshes underneath. They're all here, and you can just kind of check them all out. I think you could line them all. Oops, maybe not line them all up and move them, but you just grab them and see like, okay, here's another one of the guys. I'm just gonna go back to let's just undo, and leave this guy at whatever his default was. I think it was 3, the one with the helmet for now. And I've got a blue and an orange knight. So I'll use those as like my 2 starting characters, and then I want to set up some animations, make them do a little bit of idling so that we can just have them standing there kind of looking alive. And then I want to do like a zoom in real quick, a little bit of instructions, like say, hey, something, something, hey, you're the commander, count up the knights and send them to the right castle, right? Send them to the right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Something very simple that a 4-year-old can understand and get excited about. So let's get him animating first. Let's get an animation for this knight. And I guess thinking about it now, I need an idle. I need some kind of like talking, probably some wild hand waving, and maybe pointing. I don't know. I'll skip the pointing for now because it might get a little bit more complicated having them point at things, and they might not even notice. It's kind of like extra polish. All right, so let's look for animations. We don't actually have any in this pack. So the Polygon Knights pack didn't come with any. And I grabbed a couple different assets from the asset store, just kind of looking around, trying to find something that out of ones that I had, nothing really worked great for what I wanted because these guys have a sword, but I don't want them holding the sword. I just want them kind of walking around with it. So I need a good animation for that. What I was going to do is just do what I normally do and go to mixamo.com. So I'm going to pull up the Mixamo site real quick, and I'll show you guys how we grab an animation on here. So here's Mixamo, and I'm just going to go to upload a character real quick. And what you can do is just drop the file right into this folder or this spot right here, which is actually what I've done. If you drop in this knight file from, let's go select it. We go to the knight here and we expand this out and go select the character here and then go select the mesh under the skin mesh renderer. And we find it right here. It's actually this Polygon Knights file. This is the FBX file. You can see it's polygonnights.fbx right down there at the bottom. If that's not cut off, I don't know if that's cut off there on the bottom. I guess we'll see in a second. Let me check. Where's that window at? Oh no, it's not cut off. So you can see it right there. Polygon Knights. So that's the file. If you drop that in though, you get this because it's got all of those children there, so it looks kind of ridiculous. Not a big deal though. I don't really care. I just wanted to grab an idle animation. So go down here and grab like you take an old man idle, a breathing idle, or just like taking heavy breaths. Let's do that. Let's take the breathing idle where they're kind of active. Take an FBX for Unity. We don't need a skin, and we'll download it. Just save that off, and then I'm going to grab, I guess, 2 other animations. So I'll just save this off into my downloads folder. I actually had a couple of other FBXs there. You can see that I've already grabbed in advance. These are just me practicing, trying out, and getting a little bit warmed up. Let's also grab this. Do you want this warrior idol? Looks kind of interesting. Maybe I'll grab that one too. Grab the warrior idol without skin. And then let's grab, I want to walk and like a wave. Oh, I already have this warrior idol. Perfect. Let's just grab another copy of it. So I've got it down here in my bar and I can just drag it over. Being lazy there. All right, let's take a walking. So search for walking and let's go search under adventure. There we go. That looks good. Oh, I want this to be in place. I'm just going to grab an in place version of it. I'm not really worried about lining up animations and making things perfect. So an in place animation will be fine. This is again for a kid. And what else did I want? Oh, a waving. Let's grab like one of these right here. So download that and download it. And I probably have, I think I grabbed some other wave one before, so I probably have a copy of that too. Yep, whatever. Not a big deal. I'll just use these copies that I've got. So I'm going to go to this assets folder in my Unity folder. We're going to right click and we're going to create a folder for animations. I've already downloaded those animations into my downloads folder right here. So you can see them on the bar here. I could go browse to them and show you all the junk in my downloads folder, but I'll just drag them over here instead. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, you don't have to see the mess that is my download folder. I'll get rid of these extra little indicators showing that I lazily downloaded a copy of a file that I already had. The little ones at the end. And then select them all. Choose rig. Switch it from no avatar to copy from other avatar. Hit the search box. And then let's go find the night avatar. It's going to ask me if we want to change the animation type to humanoid, which we do. And I got to remember, I forgot who called that out. Somebody called that out, and one of my students called that out for me and reminded me to do that. Thank you again. I forgot who it was now. So many comments coming in, but I appreciate it anyway. Thank you. Anyway, so that's switched over. Now it's a humanoid one, and it's matching our night avatar. What that's going to do is allow all of these animations to target onto this character and just work with them. I got to hit the apply button, though, or if I click off, it's going to tell me to. Then I'll go to the animation tab and set each one of these up. So the breathing idle should definitely loop. So I'll just check loop. And if I want to watch it, I can right click down here on my preview part and hit play and see it kind of in action. Yeah, looks like a breathing. Super exciting, right? Let's hit apply and close it off. I was just clicking off of it, by the way, made the apply box pop up. Walking, also the kind that loops. Let's just hit apply. We can preview it, make sure that it looks okay. Yeah, that looks right. Do the same with the idle. That also should probably loop. We'll hit apply, play it. Yep, looks like an idle. And the last one, a wave. The wave I don't think should loop. I'm thinking that like when I want to get the kids' attention or whatever, we make one of the characters wave like, hey, this is the one to click on, like it's a hint or something. So I don't want to do a loop on that, and I think I'll just leave that alone. I think that's good. That looks good for our animator. Let's just drag this down and dock that again. All right, let's save and let's create an animator controller. So go in, right click, and create an animator controller, and I'll call this night. And we're just gonna go into that night animator controller. I'll drag it right up here next to the game view. Actually, let's drag it over to by the scene view. And I'm just gonna drag in the idle animation. Just get this guy idling, hit play, take a breath, say hello to chat and everybody, and then see where we're at. So we play, let's check it out. All right. Is he animating? Oh, no, he's not animating. So why isn't he animating? Let's go take a look. Well, if we look at our characters, these two, I didn't actually assign the animator controller. So we'll assign the animator controller, that night one, hit play one more time. And now we should expect to see both of these guys just kind of standing there playing there. Ooh, that idle looks terrible on them. All right, let's change that. Let's go into that animator real quick. Drag that, here, we'll just go to this warrior idle. Hit the search and let's take the other idle. What was it? Breathing idle. Let's see what that one looks like. That's a little bit better. And let's select both of these though and check the apply root motion so they stop kind of waving around. All right, these look a little bit better. I feel like the character arm space should probably be pulled out, but I'll worry about that later. Again, kids game. I don't want to get too into the details of making it look perfect. Let's just check apply root motion, lock them in place for now, and move on to something something else. I want to move on to some game flow. Actually, let's get the camera in position, then move on to some game flow stuff. So I've got my scene view right here, and I'm thinking that looks pretty good, but I want to get the character up closer. So I'm going to take I got my view right here, and I want to get this character closer so he's kind of like up by the screen saying hello real quick, and then we'll do something else. I don't know exactly what. Well, I think I want to have the camera kind of like zoom in and chat with him. So I'm going to grab both these characters and rotate them. It's E, by the way, to switch to the rotate tool. And just drag right now. I can rotate them both. If this was in world or global mode, it'd do the oops, not that one. Sorry, it's in that one. The center mode. It would spin around the center point. I said the wrong thing because I'm looking at the button. So since it's on pivot, it's actually going to spin them around each their individual pivot instead of the center position of them. So if you weren't seeing that and you're trying to copy it, that's why. All right. So I think, do I want to move this guy forward? Yeah, let's try it. Let's grab him. and just move him forward a little bit. And then we'll just pop him up. Let's see, maybe like, whoops, grab him and just put him right up here. I don't know. This is a hill now that I think about it, and realizing that I don't really want to move him up onto a hill. I think I'll just leave him back where he was. Control Z. And I think what I'm going to do is set up a camera that just goes flying into his face. He starts talking, and maybe it's these two knights, and then all of their guys appear. So these would be like the two team leaders, and then they'll call in their team, and then you have to tell them like which team goes to which castle. Let's start with 2, and then we could go on to 3 or whatever. You know, get the idea. But we're gonna go through the process of like the camera blending, the voiceovers, and all that popping up to tell them what to do, the generating, the number of things, and all that stuff. Should be a lot of fun. All right. Anyway, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share the video and all that stuff too while you're at it. All right, let's do this. So, what did I say I wanted to do first? Pull in Cinemachine. So go to Window, Package Manager, and we'll grab Cinemachine. That's what I want to do first. So we'll go to, instead of My Assets, we'll go to Unity Registry in the Package Manager. Oh, a little cramp in my thumb there. Clicking too much. And we'll go to Cinemachine and hit the Install button, which I think is just off the screen. I'll drag it over here so you can see it. And we'll install Cinemachine real quick. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Spark. I'm going to try to keep an eye on those as those pop up or anybody sends messages, but it's really hard to keep an eye on chat and code, but I got it kind of up here. Anyway, so we're importing in Cinemachine right now. And then we'll set up a quick, like, I think just an introductory blend camera. We'll do a quick fly in to the guy. We'll make him say something real quick, and then we'll go on to the next part of the game, the next phase. So we've got it in here. I don't really need the samples imported. If you've never used Cinemachine, you can import samples and go through and see what all of the different camera settings look like, or the different camera examples look like, I should say. But for now, I just want to grab my scene view, I think dock it right back here, and create a new camera. So I'm going to go to, oh, I have a build problem. What's the issue? Let's hit clear and hit play real quick. Make sure there's not actually a problem. Okay. So go to Window. Where's my Cinemachine window? Am I missing something? What did I miss here? Did I import it? Did I miss importing it? There it is. So Window. No. Game object, Game object, Cinemachine, and then a blend list camera is what I wanted. Getting myself all kinds of mixed up here. So a blend list camera is going to blend between 2 virtual camera children. You see that it automatically just creates with 2 children here. It just blends between the 2 of them. So the first camera is going to be at the position of our initial camera, or wherever our current camera is. Let's go find that one. I'm going to search for camera, CAMERA, which is that Castle South one. I'm just going to take that. I'm going to drag that out so it's not a child of all this stuff. Just drag, make it down here by my other camera, by my new blend tree camera. So I'm going to use this thing's position. I'll just copy the transform. I'll do the whole component, and then we'll paste that in as the CMVCam's transform, the first one. And we'll paste, oh, not copy, paste component values. It should move the CMVCam to be right. Oh, I need to reset the position of the parent. Sorry. Let's reset the position right here. And now the child should be, if I paste the values in, let's see, paste component values. There we go. Did that give me the right shot? Let me see. It did not. I don't know what I did there. So I'm just going to go over to where I want that shot, which was, let's see, where is it? Okay. How did I mess that up? Somehow I moved my, I want to move my main castle camera. Did I mess it up? Oh, whatever. I'll grab this VCam and I'll put it right about where it was, which was like right here, right? So I'll set that one right there. I'm going to go over to my game view, and I think I'll just drag that down here to the bottom so you guys can see what it looks like. So this is what my new view is going to look like. The second shot, though, is going to be way up close. So it's just going to be like this dude right here up close in your face. See if I can get in a good position. Maybe like that. So it's going to be this close-up, zoom-in type view. So there we go. I got my second shot right there. Let's set this one as the solo shot so we can see what it looks like. Obviously, way too close, right? So it seems like I'm zoomed in way too much. Let's pull out the field of view. Right there, that lens vertical FOV. I'm going to pull it out to right about here. So this would be like him talking. So now what's going to happen, let's uncheck solo. Did I uncheck it? Oh, I already did. Cool. Is it's going to start at this camera position. It's going to hold for 1 second. Then over 2 seconds, it'll go into this camera position. I'm going to just try that out real quick, watch it in action, and then we'll set up a voiceover real quick, make him talk. and then make it so that when we click a button, we kind of start our level. Bam, there we go. Does a little zoom in. We've got our character there. Let's do a voiceover now. So we're gonna zoom in, kick off a voiceover that's gonna say, "Hey, commander," or "You're the commander," or "Hey, captain," or something like that, and then say to give them the instructions that they need to tell them how many knights can go in each room, and then I want to pop up the number of knights in each room, or the number right here on these doors, and then I think that's it, and then have them pick. Okay, cool. That'll be like the next step. So I got to keep thinking through my steps out loud so that I remember and everybody else knows what I'm talking about too, and kind of mostly so that I remember what I'm doing though. Remember all of my steps. So do I want to start with a voiceover or do I want to start with the text on the walls and the generation? You know what? I'm gonna give everybody in chat a second to vote on it while I take a quick drink. You guys want to do the voiceover stuff that gives them the instructions, or generating a number and popping it up on the walls and then generating like the numbers of guys? We can do voiceovers first or the generation first. Whichever one is more, I guess, gets more votes or is more interesting while I take my drink. I think they'll both be interesting problems to solve, though. Relatively simple, but lots of different ways we could go about it. So let's see. Got a couple votes each way right now. I'll give it just another couple seconds. So we're on a tiny delay here, and then we'll get going. Take one more drink and think out loud. So I'm thinking for the numbers, by the way, I'm just going to use like some Text Mesh Pro World Space UI elements. We'll set up a script that generates like how many of each thing need to go in each spot, maybe make a team leader and like click through. And then for voiceovers, it looks like voiceovers are the most popular. So for voiceovers, I'll show you in just a second. All right, we'll start by opening up this Replica Studios tool. So I did a video about this thing a while ago. It just allows you to automatically generate voiceovers, so I don't have to sit here and talk and use a voice changer app. I mean, I could talk and use a voice changer, use a mod or something to make it sound different. Sorry, I got scammers calling me. Scam likely, gotta love it. Anyway, and no, I don't want to update. We'll hit later on that. But this tool will allow you to just generate voiceovers and a bunch of different like character voices that work well for RPGs. And they had a free 30 minutes. They actually hooked me up with some extra free time. So I'm just going to use it now and generate some more text. Again, I could just record the text if I wanted to, use a voice changer or something else, but it's way better for me to just go into here and start working with it. So I just go to the sandbox, switch the speaker. I'm going to change this over to, I think I want to use like this Atlas guy. I want to make sure everybody can hear this though. Let me make sure that my desktop audio is being captured by my recording software so that you can actually hear it. Because if not, that would suck. It wouldn't be anywhere near as fun for you to hear the voiceover.
Might I ask why you...
Okay, it is working. Okay, so that's not the one I want to use though.
There aren't too many women in...
Nope, not that one.
Quiet. We don't have time for bickering.
Maybe that one. There was another one that looked
Hello, stranger. Needing a new set of arm.
I think this is still my favorite one. So I'm gonna use Gray here, and I'm gonna tell him, "Hello, Commander. Thanks for coming to help us." I want him to be like super happy, and then we'll say, "We need you to send the knights to the correct castle." How do I phrase this? So, which castle holds for? It's just the question. Like, how do I want to word this out and then generate it? So, I need them to send the knights to the correct castle. Then how do I want to say it? Like, this castle can hold how many knights? So let's just use this. So I'll save this as one take. Let's hit play and see what it sounds like first, though.
Hello, Commander. Thanks for coming to help us. We need you to send the knights to the correct castle.
to their castle. I think that'll make more sense for them. So we need them to send it to their castle. Which castle? Oh, here's what we'll do. We'll say, let's save that take. I'm just gonna save that one off, and then I'm gonna download another one. I'm getting kind of an idea in my head, thinking I've been watching way too much Dora the Explorer and Go Diego Go. If you got toddlers, you've probably seen them, or maybe you've seen them. I don't know. Let's download this into my downloads folder, and I'll start moving on from this. So anyway, those shows kind of like they're very like broken. They break it into like sentences and just ask them very simple questions. So I want to kind of go that same route and also give ourselves a little bit of modularity here. So let's say we need them to send the knights to the castle. Actually, let's just hook that part up first, and then we'll move on to adding a little bit more voiceover. So we'll go into the project view, and I'm going to go to my downloads real quick. And then we'll just grab that file right over. So I'm going to make an audio folder here under assets. Right click, create audio. And this is just voiceovers. If I just stay with voiceovers, I'll just leave it at that for now. So I'll drag the file in. It's going to have this giant GUID for a name. And then let's hook it up and play it. So let's go to our character. Let's go to the orange or the blue knight guy. And I'm going to call this the instruction guy. I don't know what his name is going to be yet, so I'll just call him that, and we'll add an audio source by dropping that file onto him. Now, if I hit play, I should expect it to just kind of zoom in, play the audio, and all that. Let's see it. And we'll hook all that up afterwards so that it goes through more of a flow. Oh, I bet I'm muted. Mute audio is always on for me. Let's turn that off in game view and hit play. If I don't have mute audio on when I'm developing, it's just a nightmare most of the time. Still nothing. Okay, so why is it not playing? Let's put this on loop. Play again. Let's see if the audio file actually plays.
Hello, Commander. Thanks for coming to.
Okay, so it does work. Why isn't it playing? What did I miss here? It's on loop. It's got play on awake. Sounds on. Let's set up an audio mixer. I'm going to go check it out. I must have missed something. I'm not sure what I missed. So we'll go to audio mixer. We're going to go add a new mixer, which just creates a default mixer. I'll name it main. It's kind of like the normal default name. It actually creates a file, by the way, in the root of the assets named main.mixer, which is this mixer file. Now, if I go to my instruction guy, I can actually set him to play just on the master output channel, or I could set him to be like on a voiceovers channel or whatever channel I want. Let's put it on here and see if anything plays. The audio mixer, why isn't it? Play on awake is there. The clip is there. The sound, I am definitely missing something. What am I missing here? Let me see. Let's go to the audio folder.
Hello, Commander. Thanks for coming to help us.
I don't know what I've missed. I probably do want that to be mono. Okay, I'm going to watch in chat and see if anybody can tell what. Oh, an audio listener. Thank you for watching chat. I finally jumped back over to chat and see that's what's going on. So by default, when you create a camera, like a main camera in your game, it's going to have an audio listener on it. And since I already had cameras in here that didn't have them, and then I went through and created a Cinemachine camera, I didn't have an audio listener in the scene at all. You've probably seen cases where like your log's full of this error saying, hey, there are multiple audio listeners in there. It's because this is on multiple cameras there. Thank you, whoever and everybody in chat who mentioned it. Totally spaced on that one. All right, let's stop playing real quick. Go add the audio listener again. There we go. And save and hit play one more time. There.
Hello, Commander. Thanks for coming to help us. We need you to send the knights to their castle.
Not bad. So it's getting there. So I almost let me think. How do I want to do this now? I want to delay that audio a little bit, but I kind of want to play like I don't know if I want to play something else before it or if I just want to have a little bit of a delay before that audio kicks off and then give the instructions. I'm thinking that I'm going to go through the instruction setup part and the game flow now so that we can start hooking in the hooks for this audio listener and the camera transitions and things to actual flow of our game. So actually start writing some code. Let's go into the project view, go to the assets folder, and we'll just create a standard old scripts folder. And then we'll go inside of that scripts folder. And then let's not create any scripts yet and go import TextMesh Pro, because why not? We haven't imported TextMesh Pro yet. And I'm thinking I want to set up some UI elements. Oh, whoops. All right, why am I doing that? Don't go import TextMesh Pro. You don't have to do that anymore. Just go edit. Sorry. Game object, UI, TextMesh Pro text. Totally spaced in here. Let's import the TMP essentials, which now just pulls in automatically. You don't have to grab it from the package manager anymore. We don't need the extras and examples yet. We do need the essentials though. So once you create one, you just hit that button and it pulls in the package for you automatically. Got to remember that that's there. I'm so used to just jumping into the package manager. All right, so now that we've got our text here, let's go take a look at it. I want to put one here, and then I'm going to write a script that can reference these and start referencing other things and figure out what we want to do. So we've got our text object, and actually I want to go to my canvas and switch this over to be world space so that we can place the canvas in the world and the UI elements in the world. We'll set the scale down to 0.01, 0.01, and 0.01, which is a pretty standard thing to do for a world space UI. We'll reset the position back to 0, 0. Hit F to go to it, and now we can see our canvas right here. So this canvas is going to cover, I don't know, I guess maybe this wall right here. Just go over to this wall, hit Control Shift F, kind of get it in place, line it up a little bit, fix the rotation so that it's 0, I guess what, 180 and 0, something like that, so that it's nice and flat. We'll shrink it down. I hit T, just drag it in, make it nice and tiny. There we go. Shrink, shrink, and shrink. And then we'll go down to the text object underneath it and make that stretch to fill. We'll make that centered, and then put in some text. And then everybody's going to have to hold on for 1 second because now my wife is calling. I got to see what's going on. Let's see. Let's call her back and see what's up. Uh-oh, we're on Bluetooth. Okay, she can't come into the phone. All right, well, let's continue on then. So we'll center this back out, centered here, and then I'm going to move it away from the wall just a little bit. We'll take the canvas, hit W, pull it out a little bit, and then center this vertically as well. Where was that option? Right there. So that's nice and centered, and I've got my text here. I'm going to set this to auto size so that it gets bigger, and then crank the max up to maybe like 144. And then let's see if I can change the font. Do I want to change it? Yeah, let's choose one that has like an outline. So now if I go to my game view and I see, yeah, a big 5 there, I think that will look relatively good. So I'm going to call this canvas. Here, let's F2. F2. I'll call this door, or left door. And then I'll duplicate that. And let's move one over here to the right door. I think right about here. Move it out just a little bit, fix that rotation again, so I'll just 0 it, and I'm thinking, what, 270? Wait, it was 270, not 170, and then a 0 there, should be good. Gives me a big 5 there, so I've got a number there and a number there, and right if this game view is like full screen, if we hit maximize on play, it should get relatively big, although we're going to zoom in right away, and it's going to kind of disappear.
Hello, Commander. Thanks for coming to help us. We need you to send the knights to their castle.
Actually, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change these VCams. I'm going to start it with the one that's zoomed in, and then we're going to go to the one that's zoomed out. So we start with number 2. Here, let's just rearrange them. We'll hold for 2 seconds, and then we're going to ease. We'll just do an ease in out over 2 seconds to the other cam. Let's try that. I think that
Hello, Commander. Thanks for coming to help us. We need you to send the knights to their castle.
There we go. That makes more sense. Instead of zooming in, and we'll just zoom out so that they get context. Start really close, give them a little bit of encouragement, and then zoom out to show them the board and where they need to go. So here's what we'll do. I think we'll start with, maybe I'll do like a team marches in of like blue knights, and we gotta fill in or choose the correct door for that number of knights. That'll be the first thing to do. So let's go into our scripts. All right, let's do this. So what do I want to do for the first one? I think it'll be, let's see. this is going to be the interesting part. What's going to be the first little bit of code here that we write? Uh-oh, do I have to put on slow mode? Sorry, everybody. When this happens, but there we go. Easy enough. I can't read chat, but if people are spamming it, then they're just going to irritate people. So just put it into slow mode. Anyway, all right. So what's our first code going to be? It's definitely not going to be new behavior script. I guess, is it going to be a knight? Because I'm going to have knights that are going to move. They're going to kind of appear. In fact, maybe I'll just make them appear first. It's going to be a door. Let's delete this script. Or here, we'll just go into it. Or and get Ryder to open it. Okay, trust and open it, Ryder. Open it in a new window. And we should get our new behavior script. We'll rename it, and we're going to start with 2 doors. Make it so you can click on a door. The door could be the right one, the wrong one, I don't know. But we'll just make it so doors are clickable, and then we'll go from there. Kind of figure out the next step. So our knights invade the castle window. Oh, it opened up, but it didn't open up very well. Go into my scripts folder and my new behavior script. I'm going to rename this. Let's see if I can get this into the window correctly. Control RR. Let's call this door. Or I'm going to call it castle door. I'm going to be pretty explicit about what it is. That should have renamed my file. It looks like it did. And I'm going to zoom this in a bit so everybody can see just a closer view of the actual code and what we're writing. So for a castle door, I guess the first thing I want to do is have a number. I want to be able to set a number for the door and then make that show up on the text. So I'll add a serialized field for the text here. So it's the TMP_text, and I'll just call this door text. It's just like that UI element that's going to be over the door. I want a method to set a value. So I'll make a public void set and an int with a value or size. Let's call it like a castle size. This is like the number of knights that it can hold, right? And then all we really do is say door text dot set text to our castle size toString. That's really all we're doing, right? Phone vibrate again. Make sure that everything's good. Hold on, everybody. All right, everybody. I've got a mini emergency, and I've got to run and pick this up, I guess, a little bit later. Nothing terrible, just totally my fault and mistake. So I gotta wrap this up real quick. We'll be back later, and we'll finish this whole thing off. That's a shame everybody's here. So make sure that you like, subscribe, share, hit the watch later button, and we'll kick this thing right back off where we